America. I love my country, but I'm not happy with the present modern lifestyle. We Americans, 6% of the world population, consume 40% of the world's non-renewable resources. We're becoming increasingly detached from nature, where our food and other goods come from, and from each other. I think we can do better than that. So I took off in search of a better life. I discovered that all over the world, people are revolutionizing the way we live. For decades, people have been thinking outside of the box, sharing land and resources in order to live more meaningful lives. These places are called intentional communities, and there are hundreds of them all over the world. I visited 3 of them in one small corner of the United States, with a focus on how to make my own life more sustainable. And maybe, just maybe, I would live in one myself.
Is this 3D?
Oh my god, ow!
Does that look 3D to you?
Yeah, that's crazy.
My name is Joy, by the way, and you won't be seeing very much of me because I'm usually the one behind the camera. So join me behind the lens as I explore some alternatives to how we live.
Robert Foote. I live at Light Morning. We came here in 1974, we being Joyce and I and Ron and Marlene. 4 of us that came here in '74 are still here.
Light Morning is a group of people who have come together to live in a fashion that leaves a smaller footprint on the planet.
Light Morning was the first stop in my journey. It occupies about 150 acres in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia. It has a completely off-grid community building surrounded by small cabins. At the time of my visit, it had 5 year-round residents. I went there for a 2-month internship, along with Katie and Jen.
I came here because I was really interested in learning how to live a life that food production isn't something you're alienated from. I want to live a life where I know where my food comes from. I play a role in making my food. I think our relationship with food probably says the most about our disassociation with everything natural in the world today.
Light Morning is a great place to explore a natural relationship with food. It has a pretty amazing 4-season garden that provides all the organic produce that the people here eat.
I'm gonna plow to the end of the road. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and plow to the end of the road.
Bio-intensive gardening method. Trying to get the most stuff planted in a certain space. So if these edges come out wider on both sides, that gets you like another 6 inches, and that's enough for another row, depending on what's being planted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've been coming here for like at least 2 years, maybe 3, 2.5, something like that, before I did the internship. And so when I did the internship, I was sure that I was going to live here. So yeah, so now I've been here for 2 years.
And how many would you like harvested?
enough for a meal.
A meal. I don't know how much that would be.
Be like
This many?
actually,
My grandmother, when I was like 5 years old maybe, purposefully took me to an apple tree and had to show me, this is where apples grow. This is where they come from. They don't come from the grocery store. And for me that was a big thing, because it's easy to be so separated and distanced from your food, to not even know where it comes from.
Farmers don't even touch their crops anymore. You know, like they do things on machines, they crop dust, like they do all this stuff. I think if you're growing stuff, like, you know, your hands should meet it every once in a while. I think, you know, you should go and weed instead of spraying some chemicals.
Just being able to physically be a part of the growing process of where the food comes from, knowing that I planted the sweet potatoes this season. Last season, I harvested the sweet potatoes that we've been eating when we first got here. It's incredible to feel that cycle.
You don't go to the store, go to the farmer's market, not that I don't love farmer's markets, and buy produce. You just go out, pick it, come in, cook it. It's so simple.
But it's really not so simple. Since Light Morning has no refrigerator, all that delicious produce gets canned and stored in this spacious food pantry. Or it's stored in the root cellar.
This is some last year's garlic.
Last year,
Yeah,
and it's still good.
it's still good, most of it anyway.
When was it harvested?
And that's some of last year's too. Harvested last year at about this time.
Wow.
Last July, August, something like that.
How many pounds of sweet potatoes did you have last year? Last year's harvest?
500 pounds last year, and close to 400 pounds of butternut squash, and these are the last of the butternut squash.
From last
Yeah,
year.
these are the little guys. Yeah, from last year. There's just a half dozen left out of 400 pounds.
Wow. All that delicious food we grow is cooked on a good old-fashioned wood stove.
Actually, I'm gonna check this fire. It doesn't sound good. Oh no. See, this is something different about cooking at Light Morning. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong.
You're doing fine. Look at the fire. If we cook with wood, we have to harvest the wood.
You yourself are the ones chopping wood and then hauling wood to the stove and then cooking with it, and you know what it takes to make this fire and then to heat this food, and there's more of an understanding of the entire process, whereas if you just throw some dollars at something, you don't really know what it takes to get the thing that you're buying.
And to get enough wood for cooking and heating throughout the winter, it takes a lot of work. Robert gave some useful instructions to me and Joe, an enthusiastically helpful neighbor who visits and works on projects with us.
I aim for cracks like this when I try to get the blade of the maul down more or less into that, because where there's pre-existing fracture lines, there's more of a chance it's going to split. And then just figuring out where it's going to land more or less. You don't want to overshoot it. You come down here like that and you break a handle. We break lots of handles with people coming here as visitors. They want to split wood. They haven't had much experience about it, and so a lot of times it'll come down like there, and boom, there goes another handle. Most of the time I'm just coming down like that. And
Yes! Joe already has plenty of experience splitting wood, but it looks easy, right? I handed the camera over to Joe while I tried it myself.
My third piece of wood for the very first time.
Brilliant show of tenacity and perseverance.
Yes. Will not give up. Yes! Woohoo! Yes! Look at that fine specimen.
So once we grow the food, store the food, collect the wood, cook the food, then eat the food, the natural cycle continues.
And instead of flushing your excrement down the drain to be dealt with down the road and cause lots of problems with water supply and contamination and everything like that, you deal with, you compost your shit. That's the composting toilet, a Phoenix composting toilet that we have. This is the Phoenix, the bottom part of the Phoenix. So this is mixing the shit, and then this takes the liquid, which is mostly urine, that goes down to the bottom, and it redistributes it. It sprays it. So again, a compost pile needs to be aerated, which is what this does, and it needs a proper amount of moisture, which is what this does.
So what on earth are these people doing with their poop? Well, much like composting vegetable scraps, the poop breaks down over a period of years, and then it becomes very fertile soil. This natural fertilizer can be used, not on the vegetables we eat, but underneath the many fruit trees on the property. And then, instead of flushing our poop with clean water, we have more water to feed all this delicious food. The people at Light Morning believe that in order to be environmentally sustainable, people need to develop themselves spiritually in some way. For me, that includes meditation. Some people here meditate together regularly.
When I first came here, it was because I had just done a Vipassana meditation course, and I was looking for people to sit with once a week. And I heard that some of the people living here practiced Vipassana, so I started coming here on Sundays and sitting.
I'm pleasanter to live with. Joyce would probably be the first one to tell you how well I'm sitting, just in my interactions with her, my partner of 35 years. Sometimes Lauren would, when she was a young girl, would say to Joyce, "Mom, you need a meditation course." So Lauren was sort of Joyce's canary in the mine, and Joyce is my canary in the mine for when I'm really needing to deepen my practice or go away for a 10-day course or something like that.